If you're a service provider who wants to attract better clients this year using video content without spending hours dancing on TikTok or chasing viral trends, then this video is for you. I have analyzed hundreds of YouTube channels run by service-based business owners just like you, and here's what I found. Most of them are making the same mistakes. They're creating content that's time-consuming, creatively draining, and worst of all, it doesn't lead to sales. Now, the whole point of putting content together and building a YouTube channel is to get your ideal client to respond to your videos, to your messages, contact you, and eventually make a sale. So the whole point of this is to put content together that generates sales. Today I'm going to show you a smarter way, a content strategy that not only brings in leads, but builds real trust and converts those leads into high quality clients consistently. So what's the strategy that actually works? Well, it's pretty simple. Your videos need to guide viewers through a journey, the same journey your ideal client would take to hire you. And that means that creating content that draws them in, draws in the right people, builds trust without forcing the sale, and using psychological triggers that make you memorable and credible. You're not just posting for views. You're creating content that moves people through your sales funnel. Remembering that the top of the funnel is the wider point, and as it moves down to the bottom of the funnel where they get ready to buy from you, they get ready to choose you. So let's break it down just a little bit further. I call it the client attraction triangle, or funnel at the end of the day. To make YouTube really work for your business, your videos need to do one of these three things. They need to solve the same types of problems your service solves. So your clients experience a problem, their pain point, whatever it might be, and your business solves that pain point, but the video needs to demonstrate that. In the demonstration, to solve it for them. So demonstrate your expertise in a way that feels natural. Let your personality come through, and personal stories, your stories, they've got to come through as well in the videos. That's what gets the client to be attracted to you and to resonate and relate to you. When you hit all three, you're not just sharing knowledge, you're positioning yourself as the go-to expert so that you can own your industry. People will see you as the leader for the solutions you provide within your industry. First, let's talk about awareness stage videos. These are for viewers who are just starting to realize that they have a problem. So they've just become problem aware. They're searching for help but aren't ready to buy yet. Your job here is to give them answers and to build initial trust. So here are the three most powerful formats to build that trust and to help with this awareness stage. The first is talking head videos. And this is where you answer frequently asked questions or breaking down key concepts so that they understand your value that you add to the industry and how it may help them. The next is tutorial videos and how-to videos. And this is where you show them how to solve a small part of their bigger problem. The next one is reaction videos, and this is sharing your expert take on other people's advice in the industry. So this is where you look at other people's solutions and add your 2 cents or 10 cents hopefully to that so that you can add more value and people see you as the trusted entity or as the trusted person within that industry. These are easy to start with and they build momentum fast. There's a dermatologist on YouTube who films videos from her bedroom, literally from her bed, and yet her content gets massive engagement. Why? We need to ask why. And that is because she speaks clearly to her audience's concerns without overproducing the videos. You don't need fancy, flashy videos. There's a company that does lawn care in the States as well, and all they do is post simple mowing tutorials. Instead of hiding their secrets, they give away the value. They show you everything as to how to mow your lawn correctly and how to get the best possible lawn and grass for the summer season. And the result of this is that they attract tons of DIYers, people wanting to do it themselves. Some who end up becoming paying clients. So they give away the secrets and some people go, wow, that's a lot of effort. Let me just call the guys to come and do it. And because I know them and they've shown me what to do, I already trust them. Reaction videos also work well. They let you show your thought process and build authority while riding the wave of somebody else's trending topic. Now you see this often where people comment on Alex Hormozi's videos and add their 2 cents to that. It works really well because they're lending his credibility, but they're giving their 2 cents to the topic as well. Next up is the consideration stage. Here's where your viewers are weighing their options. They're weighing up their options. Who should I buy from? Should I buy? What should I buy? And how much should I spend? They know they need help, and they are comparing solutions and providers. So they're looking at you, they're looking at others, and those who give the best advice online and build the most trust are the most likely ones to get the deal. So what should you post? Video podcasts, interviews, and so what should you be posting? There's a range. So let's start off with video podcasts. These are interviews or casual conversations with other experts in your field. The next thing to look at is compilation videos, themed roundups that create binge-worthy playlists. So this might be step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, a video series, if you will, on how to achieve the goal. The next thing to look at is whiteboard sessions, and we'll jump into one of those shortly where I'll show you how this all comes together for you, and it gives you a bit of an action plan as well. And this is where you break down frameworks or client journeys visually so that people can relate and see, oh, I can do that in my business right now. These formats help viewers see your thinking and start to imagine working with you. A fitness coach posts casual client interviews. They're not polished by any means, but they are very, very powerful. And the stories his clients share build emotional resonance and social proof. Compilation videos are also a secret weapon. They keep viewers watching longer, which boosts your channel's algorithm performance. Now, as much as we want to give value to our clients, we also need to play up to the algorithms so we get more views and more clients watching, or more potential clients watching our videos. You can stitch together a short insight around the theme and create hours of engaging content. So this is where we would take bits of your previous videos, put them together in a series and say, here's an hour's worth of value that you could look at to help your business. There's also whiteboard videos, and these get tons of views. Alex Hormozy does it really well, where he stands up at the whiteboards and actually scribbles his thoughts down. It just explains the frameworks that these guys offer in front of a physical whiteboard. And because there's confidence and clarity in the information that they're delivering, it builds enormous trust. Finally, we reach the decision stage. Your audience is nearly ready to buy. They just need a reason to believe you are the one to help them. So here's what works best. Case study videos, walkthroughs of real client results, hybrid videos, and this is collaborative conversations with peers or happy clients. And that's where you often see, two headshots on the screen talking about what they did and how they've achieved their goals. Live streams is another thing to consider, and this is where you provide unfiltered value in real time. It's always tricky getting on a live stream because it feels you could get a bit nervous, like, oh, what if I say the wrong thing, and you can't cut and edit. It doesn't matter. The reality and the personality comes through, and because it's in real time, people sit and go, oh, I like this guy, I see how he thinks, and I want to work with him. So these give people, call it that final nudge. They feel your presence, they see the proof, and they make the call. There's a gentleman named Matt Diggity who runs a SEO campaigns business, and his case studies videos are detailed and transparent. He shows exactly what he did and what results the clients got from his hard work. It's hard not to trust someone who's that open about their process and how they work. Hybrid videos are where two experts co-create a video, and they are brilliant because they borrow credibility from each other. When you collaborate, your audience sees you as plugged into the industry and very relevant for what their needs may be, and that's why they're watching your video. And when you share that interaction with others, peers who are on a similar level to you, it just shows absolute value to the client and expertise as well. There's a YouTuber called Holly Lee who does live resume reviews. These aren't pre-recorded or scripted. They're the real thing, real-time coaching sessions that build massive trust. People see her thinking live, and that's what converts watchers into buyers. So, she helps people with the resume, which sounds pretty simple in itself, but I think there's a lot of little complexities that she shows how to get right in her videos, and that's what people buy into. So here's my challenge for you. Stop creating content just to fill a calendar. Instead, build a system that brings your ideal clients without burning you out. I have a bunch of free tools that will help you build your content strategy and plan your weekly content cycles on my website, and there are links in the description. So check those out. It'll help you get ahead of your content marketing journey. So now let's hop onto the iPad and have a look at how we can break this down and where the value comes into you for your business. All right, so we've just hopped onto the iPad here where we can look at videos that attract clients like crazy in 2025. And we're talking about YouTube at the moment because that's where we're positioning this right now. So the first thing to look at here is, why do we want to do this? And I think one of the key things is that we want to attract clients to your content this year so that they actually start buying. And if we get better clients and the right types of clients, then we actually get real value from what they bring to your business. The key of this is to do it without dancing, without lip syncing, and without following cringy trends, because you're in business and this is a real sort of aspect that clients need to buy into, is that the reality of business and not just trending topics and trends. We actually want them to buy into who you are and what you do. So what this does for you, the first thing that it does is that it builds your brand. If we can structure that your brand gets value out of it, so people actually get to know you, get to relate to you, and get to understand who you are within your business. The next thing it does is that it boosts your visibility. There's no point otherwise. We want to make sure people see who you are and what you do. And once your visibility is boosted, I think that's when the right sort of people start seeing what you do, because if you position it well, you attract the right clients. The next thing that we've got to look at is that it actually gets you more quality leads, and that's part of the visibility and the attracting the right type of business, the right type of clientele to watch you. Now that comes down to a variety of things: how you position the video, number one, how you record the video, how you present it, then your titles and descriptions and your thumbnails as well. Those all count in getting your video to be seen by the right type of person. And the ultimate goal, obviously, that we see within this is to make sales. There would be no point otherwise. Otherwise, it's just hard work with a very little reward. So the objective is we've got to look at what is your objective on YouTube. And I think the thing is that the main thing is that you don't need more views. Now that sounds counterintuitive, because the more people that see you, potentially the more sales you could make. However, if fewer of the right people see you, you've got a better chance of making sales. And that's what you want to actually achieve, is get the right customers or the right potential customers to watch your video so that you can actually close those deals. Now, you need more trust, and that's the objective as well. We've got to build trust on YouTube. Without trust, we're not making sales, and that's the whole point of this game, hey? So people, keep this in mind. People don't buy from the most entertaining videos. They buy from the most trustworthy videos. So as far as your objectives go, plan to build trust online. So why videos work so well? People don't trust pretty graphics anymore, and we've seen this, especially with AI coming out, making better graphics, and you can see that they are graphics and they look amazing, very unrealistic most of the time, but they do look amazing, and there's a lot of value to that if that's where your business is positioned. However, if you're a service-based business where you may be for example, a plumber or a doctor or a dentist, or in marketing or video creation or whatever it might be, the fancy pictures look fake and are fake. And you see this a lot now with stock sites as well, where they give away stock images or where you can buy stock images. People want the real thing. They want to see that dripping pipe. They want to see those people working at the desk within your office. So, move away from fancy and pretty graphics. People don't necessarily want that. What they want is a real human presence. Okay, so they want to trust your face. They want to see your face so they can trust it. They can trust you, and they get to hear your voice and then know who you are within the business. So when someone hears you speak with confidence, they see you show up constantly. So here's the two things that are key: confidence and consistency. You've got to be there on an ongoing basis, but with confidence as well, so that people start to trust you. And if you can prove something to them, show them some value within 60 seconds or so, that's where you get your trust starting to build. You become memorable, you become credible, and you become the one they call when they are ready to buy. So you want to position yourself that way. Right, so here are the 4 most powerful types of videos that you need to be making. And these are for consultants, coaches, estate agents, design people, or anyone with any service-based business. So this almost applies to everybody in the service industry. We'll do another video down the line with a product-based or e-commerce type industry. So the first thing is you want to fix their frustration. So this is the first type of video where we fix your frustration. So this meets your clients exactly where they are stuck. And it starts with a statement that they sit there going, yes, that is me. I'm stuck there. I need your help. So that's where we got to aim at it. So here's an example. if we're talking to Instagram people trying to grow their Instagram profiles. Here's an example of a caption or a saying that might make them resonate. So if your Instagram posts are getting zero engagement, it's not your algorithm, it's your strategy. So if they're in the business and they're trying to grow their Instagram, that would resonate with them. Then you give them a simple shift that helps them see a way out. So you give them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever tactics that they sit and go, whoa, I'm going to implement that in my business now or on my Instagram strategy and see how that goes. So not only do they get instant value, that's what we want to give them straight away up front, but they begin to trust your way of thinking. So they see you as the expert. They sit and go, I like what you've said. I like how you've positioned it. I want to work with you. At least try your tactics. Anyway, the next type of video is that it's the not what you think type of video. Now, this one is a bit of a cognitive shift in their mind, because it's got to say, we know you know this about product A or topic A, B, C, but think of it this way, and this is the way that it actually is and how it works. So this disrupts their assumptions, which is always a hard thing to get right often, and it's a hard thing to receive. So it's hard to present and also hard to receive. And the reason why it's hard is because it means you've got to change, and that's always difficult. So start with something that they believe is true and then flip it on its head. So a good example of that is when people say you've just got to post video after video after video. No, the truth is you've got to post strategic videos at strategic times. So instead of posting 5 times a day or 3 times a day, post maybe 2-3 times a week based on your strategy with quality rather than just quantity, and you'll see a whole different trend as to how your videos start working. And so that some people have said, and some gurus have said, oh, you're going to post 5 times a day or every day or 7 times a week. Well, maybe it depends on what you're doing. So if you're in the shorts game, that might be a fact. But if you're in the game to drive clients and traffic to your business so that they buy from you your services, then it's more about a strategy than just posting to fill up the timeline. So posting every single day doesn't build a brand, it builds burnout. And that's one thing I think we've got to keep in mind as well. This needs to be a sustainable marketing activity for your business. So what actually builds a brand is repeating one message in 100 creative ways. Now this is the killer part, because we've all got a lot to say. But the truth of it is that repetition counts. And there's the 7-11-4 strategy that Google has come out with, or the stats rather, the 7-11-4 stats, where they talk about how it takes so many impressions, so many views, so much content consumed on different platforms before people start responding to you. So you've actually got to say the same thing over and over again in slightly different ways, so that your message is rooted home. So people sit there and go, great, I know what I need, I know what I've got to do, let me contact this person to get it done for me. So when you challenge what they think and what they know, you become memorable, because if you can help that cognitive shift kick in, then you become the person that has shown them a better way. The next type of video is the behind the scenes video. This is one of my favorite, but one of the ones I find trickiest to do, because it's almost got to show your day-to-day activity in a way. Like, obviously not all day, you don't want to bore them with a video that's 5 hours long of you actually sitting there typing, but if you could show them how you type your next bit of content, or how you put together your next YouTube video, or how you solve the problem that they're questioning. That's how you actually build the process. So you show your process and not just your product. Your product has got the value, but you've got to keep in mind, that whole thing of features tell and benefits sell. Well, in this case here, if we look at the product being like the feature, that's what you get. But the process of how you get it and why it works is what actually sells. People want to see how you think and how you prep, and then how you work with clients. And that just shows absolute value. They can then relate to it and go, hey, if you work with those people like that, I'm similar to that person. So therefore, you'll probably work with me quite well. So an example of this is show your daily routine, not your whole day, obviously, but the routine that you go through when you're working with clients. Then also clients' insights, in what you've done for clients and how much you've improved their business or how you've helped them with their problems. Just obviously watch out for privacy. You don't want to be breaching anything there and getting into trouble. The next big thing to look at is workflows. If they could understand your workflow. So for example, in my business, we work on content cycles, weekly content cycle. And it resonates so well with clients because they sit there and go, oh, I see, that's how we do it. An article, a video, post, etc. off that concept for a weekly cycle, and it really works well, but they buy into the workflow. And so this builds transparency and trust, and it builds it very fast actually, because they've now seen how you work. And because people don't just buy what you do, they buy how you do it. And this lends into the concept that Simon Sinek brought up of the why. So it's what you do, how you do it, why you do it. The why obviously is to help them get a better life and increase their business. The how you do it is the actual process that they start buying into, and that's what you get from these behind the scenes type videos. And the what you do is the obvious thing. We help grow your business, whatever it might be, whatever the services that you are offering. So the next thing is it's a brag without bragging video. So this is always a tricky one, and it comes off the concept of the humble brag. You've done good work in the past, and that's why you're still in business. And if you're still busy growing your business, you will be doing good work, and those become case studies. And the goal here is to share a win without sounding salesy. You want to make sure people see what you've done and buy into that, because that's where the real value comes in. And how to get this right was to focus on the lesson and not the ego. This is not about you. This is about how the client benefited from the service you provide. So here's an example. This week, a client signed their highest paying contract. So here's an example. This week, a client signed their highest paying contract ever because we wrote or rewrote the offer. And I see this, in fact, with a client of mine that does win-loss analysis. And because they rework their messaging, their competition, their approach to market, and with GTM clients, it works really well, and they can demonstrate this. So it's really cool. So get that right. Demonstrate what you can do. And then the key is to simplify and don't complicate it. People want to know, how can I implement this into my business, and how can I do it simply and get it done right now and quickly? So demonstrate that. It's a really good way to brag humbly. So brag without bragging. So if you see what I did there, you position yourself as the guide and not the hero. So you want to be the person that takes people with you on the journey and shows them where to go. You're not the guy who's won the deals. You're not the hero in the story. You show and guide your clients to that. Right, so how to use this in your business. Now, here's the tricky part, because you've got to use this. If you put this in place, it'll work for you. So let's look at this here. So here's a simple plan. I think if you can structure 4 videos a week, sounds like a lot, I know, but get into it. Get into the rhythm of it. So the first one, I think, is one that solves a frustration. We've already spoken about how you solve people's problems. If you can show them that, demonstrate that. The next one is to flip a belief, to say, here's how you were doing it, here's how you can do it now, and this is why it's better. And then do a behind the scenes to show the process, the how you're doing it. And then do one that teaches a win. Show them an example as to how you help the client achieve their goals. There's 4 videos straight away, and you can always put that into your weekly cycle, and it will do your weekly content. Then you can put this into your weekly content cycle, and it'll almost perform miracles for you in your business, because you'll have enough content to get out there, and people will latch onto it and respond and resonate well with it. So the challenge is to do this for 90 days, and I promise you, clients will start reaching out. That's a promise. So get this right. Do this. Do it. And the hardest thing is to actually do it. It's like going for a run in the morning. The hardest thing about running in the morning is putting on your running shoes. So here's something to ponder and think about. If your content hasn't been working, it's probably because it's focused on promotion instead of positioning. Think about that. We're not here to sell. We're here to add value that people buy. The moment you focus on trust and not traffic, you start to command your market and own your industry. That's what we want to get to. So build the trust so that people respond to you. They will buy into the trust more than just, it's not mass marketing. It's direct marketing to one person at a time on a slightly mass scale. Okay, own your voice within your industry. You are becoming that industry expert. You are going to own your industry. So make sure that it's up to that. Then show up with clarity. Make sure your stories, your messages, your videos are incredibly clear, and demonstrate what you do and how it will benefit your client. And become the go-to expert. That's the objective of this, is that you have to become that go-to expert that clients are actually searching for already. And once you get that right, you can build your business. So I have a bunch of free tools. As I said earlier, I've got a bunch of free tools that will help you build your content strategy and plan your weekly content cycles on my website. The links are in the description. Check it out, and it'll help you get ahead in your content marketing strategy. We'll chat soon.
Own your industry. Build a reputation as the most trusted expert and leader in your niche. Get more reach, more impact, and better results. Visit marketmagnet.us.